Hi guys, this is Amy Williams. I am just so tickled to be with you today and share some tips and tools and tricks and ideas really for how you can get the sleep, the rest, the rejuvenation that your body needs. And I just want to start by saying I am just really excited to be here with you and grateful that you have jumped in to do something for yourself and join me on a Sunday morning to just step into something different. So welcome, and thank you for coming. And if you're watching this in replay, that's awesome too. I have cast my awareness into the energy of this event to ask for my higher consciousness to give the awareness of what people require who are watching this. And since time isn't real anyway, it's for now and for in the future. So I'm grateful you're here, and I'm excited to get going, and we're gonna look at some things. And you know what? There are people watching this all over the world. So that's really fun for me to know that that really, since there is no time and there is no space on some level, we're really all here together, just hanging out, talking about energy stuff. So what I want to start with is some basic energy ideas and principles. So science tells us that everything is energy. Everything. And I think in our culture, you know, we tend to see things as dense matter and forget that at the very most subtle root, it's mostly space, some particles, and vibrating energy. And even those particles, if you break them down, they're space and vibrating energy. So everything is energy. And we're going to add to that space and consciousness. Okay? So we're going to work with energy today, but we're going to start with the idea of becoming conscious of what we know. So just to go to the Latin word root, conscious, con means with, and science, I suppose. I'm not sure how we would say that exactly in Latin. The second half of the word means to know. So what we're doing today is approaching our energy. And by that I mean our subtle body's energies, our emotional energies, our physical energies, our mental and spiritual energies. And what I like to call that is our body-mind energies. And that encompasses all of those four things: body, mind, heart, and soul. We're approaching those with knowing, or with awareness, or with consciousness. So as we become conscious today of what it is for us that might be interrupting or preventing us from having a really healthy, wonderful relationship with sleep, we're going to first look at what's going on. So I know, guys, that if you're watching this, you're probably frustrated. You're probably tired, right? You're probably physically fatigued, and you're probably just not thinking real clearly in your daily life because your brain isn't rested, and you might not be feeling good physically because your body isn't getting the deep rejuvenation that it needs. And on top of that, you're probably just really kind of annoyed that you can't get yourself to sleep, or you can't get the continuous uninterrupted sleep that you want. And I hear you. I know it's no fun, and just as it goes on longer and longer, you just need some help, right? So we're going to dive right in to get you that right now. So the first thing I'd like you to do is we just like to look at the possibilities of why, but then we want to drop the why, okay? Because sometimes just spinning on why is this happening, creates more of the problem, okay? So some possible reasons might be that you're overburdened. There's just too much, and that can be just too much energy from your day, from your life, from an energetic habit pattern that may go back through your whole life of stress or not sleeping well, for a variety of different causal factors. It could be that your mind won't shut off. It could be that you're cogitating on some things in your life and that you just could choose to repattern and retrain that. And it could be that your energies just aren't flowing in beneficial patterns, okay? So we're going to look at all those things. I'm looking at my notes over here. I'm reaching to my handy-dandy music stand that will keep me on track with my notes. So if you wonder why I keep looking this direction, I want to stay really focused and get to some really specific tools that will help you create something new in your life. Because I know that there's a different possibility for you and your body, mind, and your life. And that includes more fun and more ease with sleep. So let's just dive right in, guys, and look at what's going on and start playing with these tools. So first what I want to say is what I'd like you to do right now is just stop with the why, and we're going to ask for what we would like to create, okay? So what would it take to create a new relationship with sleep? It might be one of these exercises. It might be all of them. It might be some private sessions to help clear out the stress. I'm going to trust your awareness will guide you to what it is you need. And that may be different on different days, okay? I don't know exactly what you need, but I'm going to provide you with some basic tools and ideas. And we're going to start with clearing out some of the frustration, clearing out some of the mental and emotional things. And this is just a slight variation on the tip that I shared in the little video I did the other day to let you know I was going to do this, and where I was giving one of my clients something to get her started helping her sleep, which is why I did this in the first place, because people were saying, I can't sleep, help, what can I do? And so what we're going to do is we're going to use an energy medicine tool holding something called the main neurovascular points. Later I'll tell you more about the one where we were holding the point here. And you could do that now, but really I want you to just relax and bring one hand up to the forehead, okay? So I want you to close your eyes and just listen to my voice as I take you into this exercise and we start to clear out anything that is preventing you from sleeping. Okay, so close your eyes. And you're going to have your hand on your forehead like this, gently holding these points that we call the neurovasculars, the main neurovascular reflex points, or what we call the oh my God points. And as you hold these powerful points that help calm the system, you're going to listen to the sound of my voice, and I'm just going to take you into a really brief time of allowing the body an opportunity to relax into a new way of being. Hold those points very lightly. Breathe. And right now, I'd like you to just let that feeling of frustration that you get when you're wishing you could sleep, just let that feeling come up. If it's not that for you, whatever feeling that comes up in this moment, just let that come up. Breathe and let yourself just sink into that feeling. We're just going to be there and allow holding these points on the forehead to do what they will do naturally. Nice. Sometimes you'll just feel it and then it'll start to drift away. And sometimes something else will come forward and then it'll drift away. And sometimes 4 stressy things or 10 or 100 will kind of flip through your mind and then they'll drift away. Just allow whatever happens for you to happen. Awesome. And just breathe and come back, bring your hand down. You can go back to that later. And you may not have expected that you were going to have a little self-energy treatment right away when we started. So your body may take a while to settle in to allowing these powerful tools for energy shifting to do their work with your body. And as we go, I'm going to tell you some stories. I'm going to share some funny things with you. I'm going to teach you more tools. And what I'd suggest is just don't spend the whole time taking notes. Let yourself be in the experience. And what you might want to do is just jot NVs. And then later you can go back and jot down, neurovascular, oh my God, point, hold on the head. And then you can have your own notes in your own hand to remember. It's a powerful learning tool, and everybody's going to learn differently. So I'm going to give you different ways that should hit all of our audience at their best learning way, whether that be by listening, by looking, by doing, or by writing. So that was a first step. And for some of you, that might be all you needed to start getting the sleep that your body would love to have. For somebody else, they're sitting there going, okay, I don't know what that was, but I couldn't calm down. So what do you got next? Come on, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. Okay, sometimes that's me. And sometimes different types of people, they just have different ways that their body is holding stress. And so we're also going to hit a number of those types. And so I have to do a little camera moving around. And this exercise is probably the only one that is kind of vigorous. But if you need this exercise, even though it'll move a lot of energy quickly, and it seems sort of like big movements when you're trying to calm yourself down, this exercise called the blowout could be an important key for you. And what it is that sometimes we just have too much energy kind of clogging up our whole system, so that no matter what we try to do, even if we have a healing session where we've paid good money and driven a long ways or done a lot to make time for this big session that we were going to have, and then we're like, it didn't do anything. What the heck's that about? Is it me? Or you make yourself wrong? Or maybe you're like, well, that person, do they really know what they're doing? What we want to do is create the space so that your body, your being, can actually have more space to receive the healing energy and the benefit of the private session, the exercises we're about to do, and even the space in your brain to process the information we're talking about. So, since I don't have a handy-dandy remote to move my camera back and forth, I'm just gonna scoot it back a little bit here, do a double check to see if you can see me. Well, you can see part of me. Here's the other piece. Oops. There we go. Let's see how that worked. Pretty close, pretty close. Okay. All right, so this is called the blowout. And that's exactly what we're gonna do, is we're gonna scoop up, circle our arms. This is just the demo. And then we're gonna blow out into the earth, who is the master recycler. So don't worry, she can handle this sludgy stuff from your being. We're gonna scoop it up, swoop the arms around, and we're gonna blow it out. We're gonna do that 3 times. And on the 3rd time, we're gonna actually do it really slow. Some people like to do it 4 times and the 4th time is slow. Trust yourself. If you're like, okay, that wasn't enough, I need another one. Do the slow time on the 4th time. Whatever you receive as an awareness for you, I trust it. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go inhale, circle the arms, and then bring to mind things that are bothering you. That's fair. 3rd time, scoop up all the sludgy stuff. Think about everything that's bothering you and just go and throw it off into the earth. Okay? Now, without me talking, we're gonna do it again. And then the last time we're gonna end with something called a zip up, okay? So here we go. Just swoop, swoop it up. Big exhale, do the sound, do the sound. Last time, think of something that's bugging you or just imagine all of it. Now, while your hands are down there, touch your pubic bone, inhale up, just like you're zipping up a zipper that goes all the way to your chin. Good. And last time, both hands to the chin and up and out through your aura. Okay, guys, let's get this back set up right. Tipping the screen back. Sorry, a moment for my technical crew to come in and help, right? Okay. All righty, so there you go. That was called the blowout. Now I mentioned the zip up at the end, and that takes me into talking about a series of exercises that can be really, really helpful. But first of all, what that exercise did was it really helped clear out space for your energies to move so that everything else that we do can be more effective. So depending on you, if you're a real get it done type of person who's always doing more and more and more, that might be just the key exercise for you to get this rolling. And I know a couple of you who have asked me about this are that type of person. So you might want to start your nightly routine as you start to repattern your energies for bed, for sleep. You might want to start with the blowout, okay? So the last thing we did there is called the zip up. Now, I'm not going to demonstrate all of the exercises in the Eden Energy Medicine daily routine. But I have a video. It's in my Energy Detective series on my website. So if you're watching this through my blog right now on amywilliams.us, you'll find a page tab that says Energy Detective. And there are a couple of the exercises here today that are on different videos. And that whole series is on, I'm sorry, I should have made note which video it is. I'm thinking it might be like number 3 is the daily energy routine, but it might be number 4, but you'll find it by the title. So I am an Eden Energy Medicine clinical practitioner. And so that is the work of a wonderful, lovely woman called Donna Eden, and her discoveries about energy that energy likes to flow, and it likes to flow in certain patterns. And we can identify and correct energetic disturbances and repattern energies by doing certain exercises. Because energy kind of just gets into habits that aren't always serving us well. And so what we can do is do these energy exercises and create a change in how our basic fundamental energetics are flowing, because the energies of the body form our body's energetic infrastructure. And I teach some classes where you learn about the 9 energy systems, and there are people all over the country teaching those classes, actually all over the world. But I'll be doing that in about a month, Energy Medicine 101 and 102, which you can learn more about the daily energy routine. But there's an 18-minute video. I would highly suggest you go and learn that. And for sleep, I would specifically suggest that you may not want at nighttime to do the beginning exercise vigorously. It's the 3 thumps. But you might want to just rub those points, and you can look on that video. It's 18 minutes that'll be well spent. And then if you want to do the daily energy routine, I don't have a short version of it yet. It really can be done in 5 minutes. But that all of those exercises will repattern the underlying energies in your system that could very well be the one that for you will be the key that unlocks sleep for you. So if you haven't learned the daily energy routine yet, go to that video, go learn it on my Energy Detective page, and start doing that at least twice a day right now. Because anytime you want to repattern an energetic habit pattern, you have to give it new information consistently. So start doing it in the morning full on so that your energies are starting to get in a new habit. And then at nighttime, very gently start with rubbing the points of the 3 thumps. And you can learn more about those later. We've got more to do today that's different, and some of you that are watching already know that routine. So very gently rub those points to connect with those energy systems, then do all of the other exercises. And in particular, I'd like you to look at the Wayne Cook posture. I just mentioned the zip up, and there's something called Connecting Heaven and Earth that is a lovely exercise that helps with what we just did with letting out those sludgy energies, and then it also brings in fresh energies that will help your body accept the new pattern. But all of those exercises are good. And in a minute we'll talk about, well, probably toward the end, we'll talk about another really important piece, which is having our energies cross over. But in that daily routine, several of the exercises help you get the energies crossing. In that 18-minute video, it teaches you a way to do that that doesn't involve marching, which some of the 5-minute routine videos will teach, that you should cross-pattern your energies by marching. That might get your energies going a little too much for sleep. So learn the daily routine from my 18-minute video. And I do have a shorter one, and one of these days I promise I'll make a 5-minute one, but it just hasn't happened yet. So, okay, so that's something that's going to be really important for over your whole life, giving you some go-to exercises that can move your energies powerfully. And the way that was developed was that as Donna Eden went from healing herself to working with others, and because she can see energy, she could see the things that people had in common, and she would give them homework, and these are the things that help the most people heal. So it's part of the foundational work of Eden Energy Medicine and what we teach people to help them heal their bodies. So go learn that as part of your homework, and we're going to just keep moving on with the different exercises that I have to share with you today. So there's an Eden Energy Medicine practitioner named Risa who in her 60s, she taught herself how to sleep. She had not slept well since she was about 6 years old. And I don't know if she had a trauma at that age or something interrupted her energies with an illness. But I was in contact with her and she shared a few things with me and, really just kind of said, yes, all the things you're teaching are the things that I would teach. But I think that that speaks really well of our ability to repattern things over 50 years of an energetic habit pattern. And she taught herself how to sleep. And that's what we're doing now. So the part we're going to get into now is going to be huge for a lot of people. And it's applicable for you in your daily life, even if it's for stress and not for sleep. Okay? So what we're going to look at now is what is happening with fight or flight and the deep patterns of stress in our system and how that is causing the interruption of sleep. So what we already did is a powerful, powerful way to address that. And here's why. When fight or flight hits the body, fight or flight meaning the body somehow perceives it as life-threatening. When fight or flight hits the body, the blood leaves the forebrain. Okay? It goes to the hindbrain, the reptilian brain, to act instinctively to save our life. I have a great story about using the technique that I just told you because it's so natural for us to put our hands on our forehead to calm someone or to put our hands on someone else's forehead to calm them. And then we call these the oh my God points because if we forget something, we just go, oh. And I actually witnessed somebody just doing that the other day. It's just so natural. And what that's actually doing is the electromagnetic energy of our hand is pulling the blood back to the forebrain so that we can think consciously. Well, bringing it back to the forebrain is also taking us out of fight or flight. And so what that does is it naturally calms the system. Now, what we did with holding those main neurovascular points and bringing up the frustration or allowing other emotions to come forward while we held those points was we took the body out of fight or flight around those emotions. Because I don't know about you, but how many of you have seen a saber-toothed tiger in your neighborhood or actually had a life-threatening event that was happening in your life now? Okay, some of you might have. Or you might have had it a long time ago and your body is recycling the stress. But most of the fight or flight impetus in our life right now is because of thoughts that are creating the stress response. Therefore, it's in our head, okay? So stopping those thoughts is something that we can do by energetically repatterning, bringing the thought to mind and holding those main neurovasculars. So if that doesn't work for you, it could be that it will, but we need to give you a tool that is better for now. It could be that your fight or flight response has been online for so long and on high alert consistently for so many years, or it just shot through the door of turn on, turn off, and that door is almost like slammed closed because it's just churning because it was an event that was so big, or we've never known how to get it to stop. Okay? And there are a variety of things that can cause that, whether it's a traumatic event, an illness, sensitivities to foods or drugs or different kinds of energies that we encounter in our world. But I want to give you this tool, and it's called the Mellow mudra. And what it does is when, it's kind of like the army of our body, which there's a particular energy meridian that is responsible for the fight or flight response, and it's called triple warmer meridian. I get into that in classes. We're not going to go deep into what it is now, but I want you to know the words because we're going to talk about it, and it's in the title of one of the exercises we'll do in a minute. And triple warmer meridian is like the general of the army of different things that can protect you in your body and your being. But what happens when the system gets to the point where it won't let anything in to help is that, kind of like we've heard here in the US, I don't know if this means anything to those of you who are watching in different parts of the world, but we'll get these alerts that, Homeland Security will say, oh, we're on alert level yellow or alert level orange because they've found something out about, some activity that is a danger to the public. Well, what can happen in our body mind is that we hear those things or some other thing is triggering it, and we don't just go on alert to watch for something life-threatening. We go on full-on lockdown, like the Pentagon. Nobody's coming in, nobody's coming out. It's just not happening because we don't know where the danger is, and we're not taking any chances because this being is alive right now, and that's the main thing we care about. We don't care. I mean, does the Army care if people are happy? That's not their job. It's just to protect them, keep the peace, keep them alive. And in this case, it might not even really be peace. So what we're going to do is do this exercise called the Mellow mudra. Mudra means hand position. And I've got a little Band-Aid on here, just ignore that. And what we're going to do is put our hands in a certain position, and then we're going to place them on our head. So you're going to take the thumb over the index finger. I'm just going to show that clearly. So the thumb is over the index finger nail, making, interestingly enough, an okay sign. And no, I'm not going to do Junior Birdman, although some of you, depending on your age, may have heard that. It's kind of like it, and I always think about it. So anyway, what we're going to do with it is we're going to take that thumb and index finger, and we're going to put it on the area where triple warmer meridian starts, and then we're going to curl our fingertips in and cover those main neurovasculars. And go ahead and just, let your arms come down and rest. And if you're in a place where you can put your elbows on the desk, or you could do this lying down, this is really similar because we're using the neurovasculars like we used in that first exercise. Just breathe and relax. And if there's tension in your body or tension in your hands, let that relax. Very good. If you didn't have your eyes closed and you saw me start to smile and shiver, I really love working long distance this way because I've developed the skill to tap in to energies, not just through my hands when I'm touching a person, but even at long distance. And it was really cool because I felt my energy settle with the breath. And then I felt somebody's back release, and I felt somebody's shoulders let go. And then this ripple of energy just went through me, as it does when people release something that is deep in their system and when energy moves. So that was really cool. I'm excited. Somebody's feeling the word. That's cool. So I do that kind of stuff in long distance sessions, but I'll have to say this is probably the first time I've felt it in a long distance class, or a live broadcast. So that's fun. That's fun. Good. So that's called the Mellow mudra. And what I would suggest is that you start to feel these exercises, you use them, and different people are going to have different ones that are like, oh, I feel I need to do my Mellow mudra right now. The reason that I teach this one is because it's so easy to do just while you're laying in bed. And I've seen so many powerful results with it. So now's the time when I'm going to tell a story. And my husband's used to me telling on him when he took Energy Medicine 101 and 102 when I taught it in Iowa a couple years ago. I got his permission to tell this story. So the main neurovasculars that we just held there and that we held in the first exercise, excuse me, are so powerful for helping people sleep. And of course, he lives with me. He's, you know, seen the work lots and lots. And one night we're in bed and he's not sleeping. And that's actually changed a lot for him in the years since this happened. But I call it harumphing. He was like, you know, one side and then harumph the other, where you're just kind of like, you don't say words, but you're kind of like, you can just feel someone with that frustration we were talking about because they can't sleep. And I said, you have trouble sleeping, honey? And he kind of grumbled a little bit, which, you know, I could tell he was frustrated because he's not that much of a grumbler. And I said, well, why don't you hold your main neurovasculars? And he's like, I don't want to hold my main neurovasculars. And so we're going to call this next exercise, you can do it for somebody else, we're going to call it the hand drop. Because what happened was he harumphed a little while longer and then he ended up on his back. So it was easy enough for me to just go plop and drop my hand on his head. And within a second or two, the next sound that I heard was, and he had gone to sleep that quickly. That's how powerful these points can be. So use them, use them, use them. And this is a great one because you can use it so easily just laying on your side in bed or on the couch. I kind of like it when I'm on a couch. It'll prop my arm up and I don't have to work. So, you know, the back of the couch, use that arm. So, okay, checking my time here. We're doing well. Don't want to go on too long, but I want to give you the goods. So let me check my notes and see where we are. All righty. So now we're on to working with triple warmer meridian to calm the stress response. And what is required frequently, because gang, you know, stress truly is the disease of our era. And what if we just decided to step out of that game? Right? Oh, I'm so stressed. Oh, I'm so busy. Therefore, I'm so stressed. Oh, I'm so valid because I'm doing so much stuff. And that makes me, you know, a valid person in the eyes of society. But you know what? What if we're the weirdo who gets a bunch of things done but is really peaceful and does it with total ease and rarely, if ever, gets stressed, but just has more fun in life than anybody else around them because we've decided not to be stressed. Okay, so what do we do to create that? One of the things that we can do, a really simple energy medicine exercise, is to work with triple warmer meridian and its counterpart, spleen meridian. Okay, so what we're going to do, make sure you can see me, is we're going to triple warmer. The pathway of it goes from the ring finger up the back of the arm, through the shoulder, and up to the temple, okay? So we're just going to connect with that meridian and its best friend, spleen meridian, which you can learn more about that in the classes. But spleen meridian ends over here on the bottom of the rib cage, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start by placing one hand on spleen meridian and another hand on the back of that arm. And I'm actually doing this with my left hand on my right lower ribs and then my right hand on the back of my arm. You can do this either way. If you're mirroring me now, that's fine. Your meridians are on both sides of the body. And so just, if you want to do it the way I'm doing it, just switch it, okay? Put that hand on your ribs, this hand on your elbow. And then let's breathe. Now, the live demo is really cool for this exercise. And we're just going to let it do its work. But I'll tell you what always happens. It does. It just always happens when I do this live with people. I'm doing an energy test with them and discerning where the energies are flowing and not flowing. And for those of you who haven't seen that, it's just you have someone pushes down on a muscle and it either holds or collapses based on whether the energies you're checking are flowing or not flowing, okay? So what I can do is go through and find either meridians or chakras or different, energy systems that are needing attention or that are strong. We'll say strong or not strong. And then we can do this exercise. And frequently, many, not always all of the points that we found that were off, but many, if not most, of the things will correct. Now, what's that about? Well, it's kind of the subject for those different classes to really get into it, but what it's about is that triple warmer, remember me saying it was the general of the army that protects your body? The body will send energy to it, just like the general can take over your house if it needs to protect the land, right? If it needs to set up a border. And we would give that if it was required to protect our village, right? Well, our body will give energy to triple warmer to protect us. Even if the invader is just a thought that is a stressing thought in our head that's going, bah, 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 bah. And sometimes at night when you can't sleep, those thoughts are just spinning. And so we're just continuously kicking that response off over and over again. So if that's happening, and I do know we're holding this a long time, you can do it short or you can do it long. If that's happening, you want to lay the stressor on the altar of your awareness and say, wow, this is the thought that's getting me right now. And go and do that other exercise and hold the neurovasculars while you bring it to mind. And then you might do this afterwards as part of telling triple warmer, hey, okay, we calmed that thing down. Let's calm the rest of the system and go to sleep now. So what you're actually doing is you're pulling energy. Is anybody feeling the energy? I'm going to have to enable comments one of these days so I can see what people are saying. You're pulling energy from that triple warmer meridian and you're sending it back into the system via spleen meridian. It's better. And spleen is then kind of just distributing it back. Oh yeah. You guys are calming down. That's awesome. Yeah, great. So stay where you are. Might as well. The reason that we hold it on this side is because the actual physical spleen is on your left side. Did I do that backwards before? I might have changed. Anyway, if you're mirroring me, you should be doing it this way. But spleen meridian is right here. And so we figure if you're going to do it one way and not the other, you can just send energy also into the associated organ, the spleen and pancreas, which is really going to be good for your health. So anyway, that's just some energy medicine basic stuff for you. So calming trigger warmer, it's huge, guys. Do this anytime during the day. If somebody that stresses you out comes into your office, or a family member, you're having a conversation, do not worry if they think, oh, she's got closed posture. Who cares? You know that you're calming your meridian so that you can stay balanced. And for you, maybe so you can sleep later, or maybe so some other symptom goes away. One of my clients early on, when I first started doing this, she said she would read and prop the book on her arms, and she would hold this for an hour. I'm not telling you you need to hold it for an hour. Sometimes a few minutes will be enough to calm the system. But she would do it for an hour, and she started getting better sleep than she had had in years. So that exercise can be really powerful. Okay, we're getting toward the end of the list that I have for today. Before we finish up, I just want to say that, you know, sometimes energy imbalances have been there for a long time, and you might need help. And I'm here to help. Of course, I do sessions in person, long distance, and lots of other people do too. So if you go to innersource.net and click on energy medicine and look at the practitioner listing, you'll find Eden Energy Medicine practitioners, certified practitioners, clinical practitioners, advanced practitioners that can help you with this. And I wanted to give you Risa's energy. I think it said risaenergy.com. I'm pretty sure that's it, but her name is Risa Hearn. So if you look on the practitioner listing, so that if you need help from somebody who had this problem for many, many years, she might be able to take you into some deeper things that she did. And I want to get next into one of the things that I know was a big deal for her when she first started studying this work. And that was needing the crossover patterns, okay? Needing to get the energies crossing for all the other body's energies to run in their patterns robustly, okay? We call that out of balance pattern, we call it homolateral. The energies are running on the same side of the body. One of my clients, a student who I think signed up for this webinar that drove a couple hours just to take a 2-hour class from me, and she shared that that for her, when she started doing the homolateral repatterning that is in the daily energy routine, it got her out of feeling depressed. So it's powerful. It can do a lot, just the basic exercise. I'm going to teach you a couple of ways to do it that are different than the other references that I've given you, my other video and the daily energy routine as it's taught traditionally. One of them is to get the energies crossing by tracing figure eights around the eyes. Okay. Sometimes our energies get scrambled also, and this one seems to help to correct that. It gets the hemispheres of the brain connecting, and it repatterns homolateral conditioning. So you're going to trace figure eights around your eyes. You can go each direction. It's very relaxing. It's very easy to do when you're in bed. Okay, you can make it part of your pre-bed routine that you create of all of these exercises, or just a few of them that are the ones that work best for you. That's what I'd like to hear about. So email me, tell me what works, tell me what happens for you after you watch this Google Hangout, okay? So that's one of the ways. Another one I tell a story about in my energy detective video. I think it's in video number 2. It might be the first one. I should remember this, should have written it down, but what the heck. And what it is kind of the Egyptians would put a body in this position when they would Wrap them for the big sleep. And this isn't one that I was taught in even energy medicine, but it just made sense to me, and it was so easy to hold that you can go watch that video and hear the whole story. But I have had it just pull me out of feeling really crappy. Okay, so what it is you just cross the arms over your chest and breathe. And let's just do that together. And you just allow your body to receive that deep crossover pattern, deep, deep, deep into the cells. Because even down at the cellular level, our bodies are crossing in the double helix of the DNA. So that pattern needs to go from out here with some aura exercises you learn in the daily routine to in the brain, all the way deep into the cells. And what Risa tells in her story about when she first started going to Donna Eden's classes all over the country with all of the wonderful women who are advanced practitioners now, followed Donna from 5-day class to 5-day class for years. And so they would learn all these different things that are now part of the training program I took, which is taught as Energy Medicine 101, 102, and Foundations, the first year of their certification training. She would go from 5-day to 5-day, and she would say, Donna, I'm still not feeling good. And Donna, being able to see her energy, would just look at her and go, Risa, you're still homolateral. And so she gave her different exercises to do to repattern them. And through the years, she's been able to heal these things that have bothered her for quite some time. And she tells those stories publicly. So they were a real inspiration to me when I first started taking the training. So thank you, Risa Hearn, and connect with her if you try all of this stuff. Maybe you even had a session with me or 10 sessions with me because you really dedicate to a lot of training. And you know, sometimes things take a different perspective. So maybe you call Risa for a session because you know that she went through this and she changed it. Either way, me bringing her energy into this hangout is tapping in to an energetic pathway of someone who corrected this problem. And I know that you can too. And so I've already kind of said, you know, the different ways that you can do that with these exercises or having the support of a professional. And you guys know that. There are other things to be learned. You know, some of you have said, well, I started taking this herb and then I started sleeping well for a while. I've had that happen too. When I was going through menopause a couple of years ago, I did find great benefit from some nutritional supplements. And but sometimes what will happen is you start taking something and the chemical energy in those herbs or supplements will give your body a whoosh of new energy that will balance things out for a while, but then you need something more. So you might get, oh, you know what? I need to do what Amy did and have one of those Zyto scans from Dr. Danielle where she checks to see what, you know, herbs or supplements you need or what foods you shouldn't eat. And you probably have something similar near you. And, you know, maybe that speaks to you and it doesn't cost very much. And it really helped me. Maybe that's something that'll help. Maybe you're just wondering if this thing that you already bought would work for you, but you're nervous about taking it because you tend to be sensitive. Bring it in. I'll do some energy tests for you to see if your body would like that. All kinds of things that we can do. I'm not going to talk about all of them here. I hope that these things give you the natural means to balance your energies to get more sleep. And I'm gonna end by sharing one little funny story and a couple of other things, and that's, we're gonna keep it pretty close to an hour, I guess. So one thing that we teach in Energy Medicine 101 and 102 that I don't really have time to get into here because I do want to keep it short, and there's so many possibilities. But what it has to do with, and you can Google the Meridian system and the Meridian cycle and look at the time of day that is associated with each meridian. Because for some people, they're waking up at a certain time every night. Yep, about 40 of you just went, yay, I needed this part, because don't we have that happen? That every night, whether it's 3 o'clock and we have to go potty, or we've been asleep for an hour and then boom, 11 o'clock, we're wide awake. Well, every energy meridian has a time of day when it gets its energy for that 24-hour cycle. And at that same time, it has a corresponding meridian at the other side of the wheel. I'm holding here because 11 to 1 o'clock is on kind of the meridian wheel, and that's heart time. And at the other side of the wheel, it's actually 11 to 1 is in the daytime, and 11 to 1 in the morning is gallbladder meridian. And so for some of you, and I think I know one person who had asked me about tips for sleep that said that she always, she'll fall asleep early and then she always wakes up between 11 and 1. Well, that could be something going on with gallbladder meridian that is at low tide. It could be something going on with heart meridian. Oh, wait. Gallbladder meridian. Gallbladder meridian is at high tide between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. and heart meridian is 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So it could be because gallbladder meridian has something going on, or its counterpart that's at low tide at that time of night. Have you ever heard that is a time of night that a lot of people have heart attacks? Well, heart meridian's at low tide between 11 and 1. So it might be that it just needs a little bit of support. I had a similar thing, and it was pretty new to me. I was new in my training, and I called my wonderful teacher for that foundations year in Kansas City, Kim Wedman, and she said, she goes, well, bladder governs the nervous system, and that's at low tide during that time. So that would be like that 3 to 5 p.m. is bladder time. And I've got some energy medicine practitioners, so I gotta make sure I'm right. So heart, 11 to 1, 1 to 3, small intestine or liver at night, 1 to 3 at night is liver. And then 3 to 5 is lung, if it's 3 to 5 in the morning, or bladder, if it's 3 to 5 in the afternoon. So she said, well, it could be the nervous system because bladder meridian's at low tide right then. So you might want to trace bladder. Now for me, if I wake up, if I don't think too much, if I don't have too much light that stimulates my my brain, I can get back to sleep a lot. But I had a few years there with hormone changes, another piece of this story, where I was needing a little assistance, and that's where I learned a lot of these things. And she said, trace bladder. And I'm like, look at my book, because I'm just learning. I'm like, bladder meridian? That thing's the longest meridian. There's only a couple that are that long. And it involves going up and down the back and down and up again. And I was like, that's going to wake me up. Well, why don't I just trace lung meridian and give it a good flushing, which will just whoosh some energy through it. You trace it backward and then forward 3 times. And and so I started doing that. I get up when I woke up, I'd go potty. On my way back, I would just, can you hear that? I would just do this. Trace it backward, trace it forward, forward, forward. And I would do the other side. And you can hear that swooshing sound. And somewhere, I don't even remember how it was, but my husband and I, because of the sound of it, we started calling that sharpening our arms. So you can do the hand drop for a friend. You can do the hand drop for yourself. If you're waking up during 3 to 5, you can go from thumb up to lung and then back down 3 times. Both sides, thumb up to lung, back down 3 times, which is what I call sharpening your arms. Or you can do any of these other exercises as a routine before sleep, or if you wake up and want to get back to sleep. This one is great. You can do it, the crossovers, just laying on your side in bed. Some people are comfortable doing the triple warmer spleen hug in bed. For some reason, that doesn't feel comfortable to me, but that's just me. Who knows why? It might be perfect for you. Works good laying on your back. Maybe that's just because I'm a side sleeper and I don't like smashing my hand. I don't know. But the one that I taught in the little video that I did before this is using those main neurovasculars. This one's great at night. For me, I find it just really easy to do this laying in bed because I can just kind of be all curled up like this or like this. So what you do, if you didn't see that video, is you take and make a 3-finger notch, 3-finger notch with those 3 fingers, and you put them right here at what we call the thyroid notch or the clavicular notch, okay, right between your clavicle bones, right where the sternal notch, I think, is another name for it. There's a little hollow right there, so you put that there, okay? And then you put your hand on your neurovasculars. This will work with that hormonal component because of triple warmer's relationship to the spot and because the thyroid, okay? So you can hold that, lay on your side, and lots of people have told me that that helps them get back to sleep. So there you go, folks. How many was that? We did main neurovasculars. There's 9 exercises in the daily routine. Blowout, triple warmer spleen hug. What else did we do? The triple warmer and main neurovasculars. And let me see, I think that's all of them. I think that's the whole list of what we did. Mellow mudra, yeah. So if you forget them and just want a quick and dirty, I'm sure you can Google the individual exercises and find them, or you can just go back and write notes here. So thank you so much for spending part of your Sunday morning with me. I look forward to hearing from you, what helped, if you've got questions. Future ideas for Hangouts, I kind of follow the energy of what people need. We're looking at doing more Hangouts soon, and my next live appearance is teaching something called Access Bars in Chicago next weekend. I've got those classes throughout the year. 3 weeks from now, Energy Medicine 101 and 102 in Lincoln, Nebraska, and again in the fall. I do continuing ed for massage therapists and nurses for the 101 and 102 classes for sure. But the general public, you guys can take these classes, apply them in your own life, use them for yourself and with friends and family. And if you're watching this right now, you can probably find that. If you're watching it through my website, just click the classes tab and see what's next. I teach regular monthly classes that are only an hour and a half to 2 hours long. So if you want to get with me in person, that's the most cost-effective way to do it. And if you want to get into a session, just click the tab and contact me on the page, or amywilliams.us2@gmail is one way to get a hold of me. Facebook is Amy D. Williams, and I also have a Facebook fan page called Body, Mind, Consciousness, where we start getting into more stuff about energy, consciousness, and different roles to play in the field of conscious energetics. So thank you so much. I'm so grateful that so many people tapped into this, and I can't wait to see what it does for you. So please, please, please let me know and call me if I can be of deeper assistance to you. I'd love to be able to do that. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful day, and I hope that this contributes to your life. Bye-bye, guys.